Hello and welcome to this FPL Gameweek 8 Wildcard Draft video with me, Holly Shand. It's a bit of a different video from me this week with news of postponements for FPL Gameweek 8. So the Wildcard Draft video replaces the team selection video. But if you are new around here, please give this video a like. Let's try and smash 500 likes and get me over 14,000 subs. All of your support on the channel is really appreciated. And let me know in the comments your plans for Game Week 8. Let's get into it. So it's been quite the week in FPL. Obviously, the sad news of the passing of Queen Elizabeth meant that we had no fixtures in FPL Game Week 7. I decided to roll the transfer for more information, but we finally have clarity ahead of FPL Game Week 8. We already had the Brighton Crystal Palace game postponed. 2 more fixtures have fallen into the blank Game Week 8. We've also got a blank for Chelsea against Liverpool and Manchester United against Leeds. So just 7 fixtures going ahead in Game Week 8 means a lot of managers will now be wondering how to deal with the game week ahead. As I mentioned at the top, I was looking at wildcarding for this week anyway because there's a few issues to fix in my team. I don't want to play Danny Ward against Leicester. I'm got double Liverpool that I don't really want to follow through with their fixtures turning for the worse. Gabriel Jesus was kind of on his last legs in my team as well. Kyle Walker is injured. So while it's possible to save the wildcard to Game Week 9 for some managers, I would like to wildcard now from a position of strength and really attack the upcoming fixture schedule because we have to use our first wildcard before Game Week 16 if we haven't done already. So now seems like a sensible opportunity to play the wildcard, deal with the issues in my squad and jump on board some of the more exciting fixtures. Speaking of the fixture schedule then, this fixture ticker takes us from Game Week 8 up until Game Week 16 with those 3 postponements in there as well. Now we also need to note that the midweek fixtures, there was meant to be 7 Premier League teams in action in Europe this midweek. Arsenal's fixture against PSV Eindhoven on Thursday evening has also been postponed. That fixture will need to fit into the Premier League schedule or for a Carabao Cup game before the end of Game Week 12. So we do need to think about how that could affect the schedule. We could potentially see the clash from Arsenal against Manchester City in Game Week 12 being postponed. So that's something to keep an eye on. But it is all change on the fixture ticker. Teams like West Ham, Leicester, Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth, Newcastle all climbing to the top of the fixture ticker, and at the bottom, Manchester United, Leeds, Liverpool, Chelsea, Brighton in those bottom few places. And this is why I've got this desire to wildcard. I've got a Brighton player, a couple of Liverpool players in my squad, and before the news was announced, I did sit down today and build a wildcard squad just to give me an idea of what teams and players I'd really want to take advantage of in this window anyway, so that it could weigh up whether it was a good idea to wildcard or not. And I'm going to talk you through some of the key players making my wildcard team. Looking at my wildcard squad then, I feel like the optimal formation, it's back to the old days, and that's standard 3-4-3. So that's what I'm going to try and create with 2 premiums. Now, when it comes to the premiums, obviously Erling Haaland is a must-have for our squads. He's been in fantastic form so far this season, 10 goals, he's on penalties, he's in the best team in the Premier League. Who do you partner in with though? I think Harry Kane is certainly an argument, particularly because he's got Leicester at home this week, which is one of his favourite opponents. But the trouble is, looking longer term, some of the budget forwards are providing so much value this season that it really makes it hard to go with Kane. So I'm looking at the Man City double up with De Bruyne in there as well. But it is quite limiting in terms of captaincy from that point. So that is something that I need to think about. But that's what I'm intending to set out to do at the moment. At the back then, I'm going to go with Nick Pope in goal. Obviously, we've got a really nice run of fixtures coming up for Newcastle now. Bournemouth, Fulham, Brentford, Manchester United and Everton in the next 5. Nick Pope has kept 3 clean sheets already this season in 6 games. He's also got the best save percentage ratio of any goalkeeper in the Premier League. And I'm going to stick with Danny Ward. I'll keep my ear to the ground on whether he's still looking to be first choice at Leicester, but at 4 million, he's probably the best backup to go for anyway. having a look at the defence, there are some familiar faces in here right now, and there's no Trent Alexander-Arnold and no room for a Chelsea defender as it stands, but they are in my consideration, particularly Chelsea defender Reece James, Cucurella, Fofana. I am intrigued to see how they start under their new manager Graham Potter, but I've kept with Cancelo, Trippier and Perisic has snuck his way in there for now, because I feel like Spurs are a great defence to be a part of in FPL. They're performing very well at the moment. You know, they've got a few clean sheets already. And you look at the other Spurs defenders and Perisic has basically got the same amount of points, even though he's played less minutes. And I can see plenty of potential from him in the upcoming fixtures for attacking returns as well as clean sheet points. And I don't think it matters particularly taking a risk on him, because there's so many budget backups, and the backups I've gone for are Neco Williams, who's got one of the highest goal involvement percentages across all defenders in the game this season. Nottingham Forest have got a great run of fixtures coming up as well. Fulham, Leicester, Aston Villa, Wolves in their next four. And I've also gone with Emerson, who has just moved to West Ham. He's got great fixtures as well. Everton, Wolves, Fulham and Southampton in his next four. So I think they're really good players to pick up, and it does provide me with some cover if Perisic does get rotated. Obviously, Cancelo is a must-have. We've seen him playing that more advanced position under Pep in recent games. I love seeing him, owning him in FPL and seeing him wearing that number 7 shirt. And Trippier is dominating set pieces for Newcastle United in very solid defence that I'm happy to double up on. I'm going to jump to the forward line now, because I'm more settled on this than I am my midfield picks. And at the moment, obviously partnering Haaland, I've gone with Fulham's Alexander Mitrovic, because why wouldn't you? He's averaging a goal a game this season. And then I've gone for a little bit of a riskier pick. I've dropped Gabriel Jesus because of Arsenal's fixtures turning, and instead I picked up Ivan Toney. Now, there are other players that you could consider in here. We've seen Newcastle's Alexander Isak is one to consider as well. But I do like Brentford's longer term fixture schedule. Obviously Arsenal next, but they're at home. Brentford have got great form at home. Then it's Bournemouth, Newcastle, Brighton, Chelsea. So mixed bag in terms of the fixtures, but they're scoring a lot of goals this season, Brentford. That's something that we need to bear in mind. And Ivan Toney is the talisman of this side. He's been involved in 7 of their goals already this season. So for me, I think he's a really good pick to consider in FPL. But Harry Kane is still there in the back of my mind as another really good option to go for in the attack. On to the midfield then, and this has been the hardest to choose. Obviously, we've got Kevin De Bruyne in there. I'm going with a 3-4-3, so I've stuck with Andreas Pereira as my $4.5 million backup. I know he's had a price rise, but I've had him since the start of the season at $4.5 million, and he's looking like great value still, providing that he's chipping in with those attacking returns. But obviously, Mo Salah, no place for him. There would be a slot for Luis Diaz if I wanted him, but I'm not sure I do, given Liverpool's fixtures. I'm tempted to take the punt on Leicester's James Maddison. A couple of goals already this season. No European involvement for Leicester. Surely at some point their form needs to pick up. And, you know, Maddison is a key part of their attack. So given the strength of the fixtures, I am tempted to take a punt on him. I could obviously look at Jared Bowen as well. Marcus Rashford probably would have been in my wildcard team if it wasn't for the blank in game week 8. And it is a player that I'm still considering. There's been a few injury concerns around him in the last week or so, but he has been highly transferred in. He's playing out of position as a number 9. So he is someone that I'm considering. I could also put Zaha in that spot, another player that isn't available for game week 8 because of the postponements, but another man in the frame to lead the line. He's on penalties. He is the talisman of the Crystal Palace side, who are, you know, performing fairly well this season, given the difficulty in their fixtures. Zaha was the form player of pre-season, 4 goals already this season as well. So given The fixtures after the blank are pretty good. It's Chelsea game week 9, but then it's Leeds, Leicester, Wolves, Everton. You know, right up to the World Cup break, Crystal Palace's fixtures look really exciting. So I could go with Zaha in there as well. And then the final player in my squad is Gabriel Martinelli, who I brought in a few weeks ago, is still delivering the goods. I still want a piece of that Arsenal attack, and Martinelli is the person that's providing the value right now. 3 goals and an assist this season on his current form and ownership. I'm quite happy to continue to hold him, but it is scary, this draft. There's no Liverpool players in there, no Chelsea players in there either, and when you look at the most owned players in the game, we've got Gabriel Jesus in there as well. There's no room for him, so it is quite radical. We'll see. We've still got till Friday to put together this wildcard draft, so things could change. However, that's where I'm at the moment with those selections. I'm not going to do the team selection for game week 8 in this video then, because I'm still going to spend a few days considering this wildcard before really thinking about which players I'm going to start this week. So I may do a team selection video on Thursday in place of the game week preview. Let me know in the comments what sort of content you want to see from me in the coming days, and obviously the live stream will be back on Friday as well. If you've got any dilemmas about your wildcard squad, or maybe you're struggling with strategy for game week 8, do get in the comments. I really do try hard to answer all of the comments, especially those that have come within 24 hours of the video being released. So do drop them in there and I'll do my best to answer all of them ahead of the game week 8 deadline, which is on Friday the 16th of December at 6:30 p.m. If you are new around here and you've enjoyed this video, please smash that like button. Help me get to 500 likes on this video. All your support really helps to get the channel to grow. And 14k subs if I'm here already. Thank you so much for all of your support. And good luck for FPL Game Week 8.